Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Wednesday. It is Wednesday today, Wednesday afternoon, or evening, or morning, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another news episode for you guys this evening. Of course, I am just checking a bit quickly. Yes, I can see all of you in the chat right now going on about the football. It was a mad ending, then that was, wasn't it? It was absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, of course, commiserations to Mexico, and of course, congratulations to Poland. But of course, in today's video, we're going to be talking about transfers mainly. Of course, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, we're going to be talking about Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Kudus, and of course, Moisés Caicedo as well. We're going to be talking about them three in particular. Of course, we'll also be speaking about, of course, the other news in the room as well with Liverpool, and of course, the sporting director role. We're going to be speaking about there's a potential, I would say Michael Edwards, then a potential Julian Ward replacement as well, that could potentially be in the door as well. So let me know, guys, your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know how all of you are in the comment section down below. If you're new around here as well, viewing us for the first time, then please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. Let me quickly check something a minute, guys. Is that happening? No, it's not. Yeah, but again, as Mark says there, unlucky Mexico. Brian with a thumbs up as well. Hi, Brian, as well, says Mark. I don't know why that's happened there. Very unlucky. They had to right go at it as well. Yeah, I've seen loads of people, mentioning, why aren't Mexico on top? And I think it was because they had more yellow cards than I think more yellow cards than Poland, which was a weird concept a little bit. But again, it's a bit unlucky, isn't it? But very unlucky. They had a right go at it as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, missed Lowe's first half as well. Yeah, absolutely. Poland just sat back. I think Poland knew, didn't they? They didn't really have to mess up too badly against Argentina, and they would have been completely fine. Unlike Poland, how they have qualified as well. Unlucky Poland, how have they qualified? Yeah, least amount of yellow cards, but again, Mexico did concede late on as well, didn't they? So again, that changed things as well. But Brian says France will put 4 or 5 past them as well. Yeah, I do expect them to do that as well. Bry as well. Yeah, they play like that as well. Brian saying at Connor's over the thumbs up as well. Good to see you in your chat. Apologies, I was 6 minutes late. I was trying to quickly get a bit of information before coming on the stream from a certain someone, but again, nothing major to really report on as of tonight, anyway. As far as what we know of course. I hope you are well, Connor. Doing very good, thank you, Mark, as well. All of us, says Mark. Talio Albeen as well, says Gary. Hello, Gary. Hopefully on a fantastic day. Every World Cup midfielder we are linked to. Yeah, it is there at the minute, isn't it? But there is concrete. I wouldn't say evidence. I really would. I wouldn't say look. There is concrete evidence to suggest that they're going to be coming to Liverpool. But again, I wonder who, isn't it? Yes, to Kudos anyway as well. Yeah, absolutely. And Gary saying, for God's sake, evening Mark as well. And Gary going yes to Gakpo as well, if the comment was to pop up on the screen, as well as saying yes to Gakpo anyway. But we will move, first of all, not onto the transfers, guys. We're first of all going to be talking about Julian Ward's replacement. Yes, we're going to be talking about this man right here. Of course, the news last week that he would be stepping down from his role at the club. And as of today, this man right here, Sven Mislintant, I think, or Mislevant, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I do apologize if I have absolutely butchered it. But yes, his name has come up on potential replacements for Julian Ward as well, which of course is big news anyway. Of course, the reliable Florian Plettenberg over the last couple of weeks have been, of course, updating the whole football world on transfers and so on. But of course, he was saying, Mislintant, he is a candidate in order to replace Ward as sporting director LFC in summer 2023. No concrete negotiations yet, but he's open for Liverpool. Relation to Klopp still brilliant. They have worked together in Dortmund from 2008 to 2015, of course, and he was at Borussia Dortmund. I think 2007 to 2017. I think it was. So I think it was pretty much like that far in between as well. And of course, yes, he did have a stint at Arsenal as well, their top scouting department, which is the more scary part of it, in my opinion, because if you look at the Borussia Dortmund side of things, of course, yes, he brought in the likes of Robert Lewandowski, he brought in the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, also as well Marco Reus, Ousmane Dembele as well. That side that went to the Champions League final under Jurgen Klopp at Borussia Dortmund, he was a very big figure in that, building up that squad. But the signings at Arsenal are a completely different story from it. And of course, that is the latest big job that he's had. I think he's been the head of recruitment at Stuttgart over the last few seasons anyway. So again, he's left that role as far as we know. He's left it. I think last month he left the role of main scout for Stuttgart as well. So again, it's one of these things where you look at the track records at Borussia Dortmund. Yes, it was very good, but then you look at the track record at Arsenal, and yeah, it's not the best. Obviously, signing Aubameyang back for a very high price and high wage, of course, and then you just look at the list of Arsenal signings under him as the head scout. I was obviously part of it, of course, but. And let me know, guys, your thoughts as well. For me, it would be a no. And again, as the article does go on to say, well, not article, the piece from Florian Plentenberg on Twitter, anyway, saying that, of course, it is just, he's just a candidate at the moment, nothing concrete. But yet again, that is the important thing, as you can see down below. The relationship between himself and Jurgen Klopp is still a brilliant one as well. So again, obviously with Klopp having more of the reins that we know of, what's been reported over the last couple of weeks, that Klopp will have a more hands-on approach with the negotiations and the scouting department and so on. Will this be moved on? Where Klopp might actually get the guy that he wants. Who knows? And it is that question, isn't it? And again, this was also as well from Plittenberg as well. Pretty much the same thing, of course. Then Mislintant, I again apologise if I do butcher his last name, is a candidate to replace Julian Ward as sport director in the summer. The German worked under Klopp, chief scout at Borussia Dortmund from 2008 to 2015, as the pair maintain a great relationship as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts as well. Would you want him at Arsenal? I'm just quickly going through really, some of the big ones he signed. He made 8 signings at Arsenal. Of course, I think the big, just looking at the list: Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan, Bernd Leno, Socrates. I was going to say Carteris and Socrates. Lucas Torreira, Guendouzi. Again, you look at those signings. Only, what. Leno was the last one to leave at Arsenal. All of those players that the main ones anyway have left the club already. So you look at it, they were short term, people at Arsenal. They wasn't long term like we have had at Liverpool. You look at our team, practically it's been here for the last 5+ years, isn't it? The core and so on. So I think it is maybe a gamble if Liverpool was to go on and get him anyway. But again, I don't know. Maybe Klopp might, and obviously Jurgen has the final say, doesn't he, over everything? But you do look at the signings that he made at Arsenal, and it is a very bad record. So for me, I wouldn't be the happiest of fans of it. But when you look at it, there hasn't been anyone else really standing out as of today, in terms of who's this person going to be to replace Julian Ward as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts anyway in the comment section down below. Anyway, let me quickly go back up to the chat as well. Gary saying yes to Gakpo as well. Jackson as well saying yes, lad. Hello, Jack. Hopefully on a fantastic day. Get a rich owner, take them all as well. Wales question mark says Brian. If you heard about how Wales' tournament was, it was absolutely crap. If anyone was watching Jack's live stream last night, you'd know. It was absolutely awful last night for Wales, and yeah, I don't want to speak about her. Oh, right, sorry as well. Taliola as well says Gary. I think it was towards Jack. He was at Arsenal, right? Yeah, he was at Arsenal. Bry as well. Not the best of records, was he? At Arsenal. Yeah, that didn't go well. No, it didn't. Absolutely not. I suppose we don't know what happened behind the scenes at Arsenal. Yeah, that's true. And looking at the time he was at Arsenal, I'm just quickly looking now. I think he was there for a 14-month period. Yeah, so so he spent 14 months at Arsenal between late 2017 and 29. He must have been there literally in the last couple of months of 2017, and then 2019 brought in the likes of Guendouzi and Lucas Torreira as well. And to be fair, he's also been linked with a job at Bayern as well. So again, Liverpool and Bayern Munich, if Bayern are going after him, is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign? I don't really know, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, but not sure as well. Says Mark, all bad signings as well. Yeah, absolutely all bad signings. I don't want him as well, says Gary. No, I don't blame you. It doesn't sound the best, and as well, yes, but it is Arsenal. It is Arsenal, to be fair, Mark. But again, it's the fact that he went back to old players. In terms of Arsenal, and obviously went back to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And we all know Klopp doesn't go back to players. Klopp always looks forward. We've seen this for over the last 7 years, 8 years that Klopp's been at Liverpool, and again, it's that factor of look, all players get linked to Liverpool all the time. Look at Phil Coutinho, for example, when he was going to leave Barcelona, and that's the thing. At Arsenal, there was an unreliability there in terms of the manager. Again, I don't think Arsenal fans knew who the manager was going to be, in certain months and certain periods. With Liverpool, it's a bit different because we know Jurgen Klopp has the final say on everything, and we know Jurgen Klopp is hopefully going to be here until, of course, his contract runs out. Maybe a bit longer, of course, but we at least hope that Klopp will be here for that period. And again, it's that factor of, and I was watching something yesterday where they were going on about, I can't remember where I was watching it, but it was like they were saying, the thing we have to remember, the sale isn't going to happen overnight. Look, things are happening now that we don't know about, and we'll find out in a couple of weeks' time. But things won't be progressed as much as what we are thinking, or there's certain details that fans don't know about at the moment, and that's the thing that I think we do have to take into consideration. As well anyway. But Jack saying like, share and subscribe, yeah, if you could. I think we're on 788, so if we can get to 780, well, what are we on? what are we on? 790. If we can get to 790, that would be very much appreciated as well. So thank you very much, guys. Well, and also if we can get to 20 likes tonight, that'd be very much appreciated. Yet again, I think we got on the algorithm, it says we're still on 19 likes. So again, I don't know. On the last video, if we can get to 20, that'd be very much appreciated. But if Klopp trusts him, I'd be happy with it as well. And again, Klopp will have the final say, and does have a lot more of a say now than what probably did a couple of months ago, with behind the scenes stuff as well. But the choice is he could get the Arsenal rep as well. Yeah, absolutely. Liverpool is a very different story as well, says Bry, and indeed as well. Yeah, again, let me know, guys, if you're watching on repeat as well. Let me know your thoughts. It's going to be, a very interesting next couple of weeks and months, isn't it? But Brian saying if we get him, his Dortmund contacts basically mean Jude is a done deal. I'm not gonna lie, I think Jude's already done. I'll put it on Twitter. Again, if you're not following us on Twitter at the Cup Council, I do think it is between Liverpool and City now. From listening to Real Madrid's supporters, they seem to suggest that they're not going after Jude Bellingham now. They are going after Enzo Fernandez and Nicolai Barella for next summer because they're both cheaper options, supposedly. So, again, that's just Madrid fans. Obviously, Madrid, the actual club, probably are going after Jude. But I do think it is between Liverpool and City for Jude Bellingham. Of course, hopefully, if Trent's doing his job correctly, getting his year a little bit. No, but look, I think the fact that Liverpool, the latest rumours, the fact that Klopp apparently is trying very hard behind the scenes to get it done. Obviously the Trent stuff. Florian Plettenberg as well, also teasing Liverpool fans earlier on, saying that something's happening behind the scenes as well concerning Liverpool. Obviously, if you've seen the photo of Trent and Jude Bellingham on Twitter, of course he put a comment on there, with the time scale thing, which again doesn't really mean anything and gets us and more particularly me excited about potentially Jude Bellingham signing for Liverpool. But again, means nothing, does it realistically? Until Jude Bellingham, is officially a Liverpool player, then we can just hope and dream, can't we? At the present moment in time. Anyway, but yeah, Brian, I absolutely agree with you. Hopefully, he can get his contacts in and absolutely get that done deal. Anyway, but Jude being with Trent a lot at the World Cup as well. Well, I think Jack yesterday when Hendo got injured mentioned the fact that the first players that were at Hendo's side was both Jude and Trent. So hopefully, something's happening there. But again, it's that thing where I do think it is between us and City. I don't think anyone else can say not really. But yeah, I do think it is between Liverpool and City. To be fair, and again, how much we'll end up paying is a different thing. Anyway, but we will move on then to, of course, these two men that have been brilliant in the World Cup, I would say, for their different nations. Of course, Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Kudus as well, of course, both represent, well, obviously one representing the Netherlands and of course one representing Ghana as well. Of course, Kudus, pretty much won the game for Ghana, didn't he, the other night, getting 2 goals in that game, which was very, very good as well. But there is news concerning both men, of course. Yeah, like we mentioned, that's the wrong slide. Of course, like we mentioned the other night, Liverpool have entered the race to try and sign Mohamed Kudus as well, which that was reported, I think, by Dutch TV as well. And today, Fabrizio Romano has gone, I think, on his podcast, mentioning the fact that Liverpool are scouting both Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Kudus as well. And according to Dutch television as well, the Dutch reporters on Dutch TV as well, have said that Pep Linders has said that Cody Gakpo could be the missing link to the Liverpool team. Well, again, take that with a huge pinch of salt for a start. But supposedly as well, Liverpool have sent out plenty of scouts during the World Cup and during the Eredivisie season as well to take a look at Cody Gakpo, which, on the face of it, look, the Liverpool need another left-sided player that can play as a striker. Probably not. I say that probably short term, yes. I think that would be the case because, of course, at the minute, we're having Luis Diaz come back slowly but surely. Of course, and with Diogo Jota as well, potentially being out for much longer than what we anticipate. I think at the minute, I think not FSG, sorry, I think Klopp was pretty much, tame on what he was going to say about Diogo Jota's injury, and like he has said, there is no time scale as of yet, anyway, on whether or not Jota will be back, sooner rather than later, anyway. But we're going to take a quick look then, guys, at Cody Gakpo's stats for the last year, anyway. Let me quickly, obviously, if you guys know the site that we're using, of course, let me quickly make that big screen for you guys anyway, if it wants to work. There we go. Of course, you can see his attacking numbers. He's pretty much in the top, 99% of players. And what I mean by this as well, he is, in the top, practically in the top 1% of, attacking numbers. You can see per day. Anyway, in terms of goals, and again, you do have to take this with a little bit of a pinch of salt because, of course, it is the Eredivisie and so on again. But you look at it, in top 99% for non-penalty goals, and just dribbles completed as well, making nearly 3 successive dribbles per game. And again, interceptions as well is a big one. Obviously, with the press that Liverpool do like to start at the front of the field, you look at it, the interceptions rate as well, and aerial duels one as well. He is a very, very, a very, very tall player. I'd say. I think what would be the best way to use for him? It would be interesting to know your guys' thoughts anyway. But you look at it, and as an attacking threat, he's a very, very good player. You look then though at the pass accuracy again, and this is just me being an idiot, but again, he's in the only in the top 7% in terms of passing rate. You're only completing 66.1%, which again for a attacker, again, you don't really take any notice of this because again, this is what the idiots when people arguing about Darwin Núñez, for example. People are arguing the fact that, oh, well, Darwin Núñez only has a 70% pass accuracy, blah, blah, blah. But again, for me, I do think it is pretty much a solid background. But again, I think if you look at, even if you look at Anthony's numbers in the Eredivisie, it was up there as well with Cody Gakpo for that. But you look at the world, and I think a little bit it is a little bit of World Cup fever, where you have a player that has a very good World Cup, and then it's like, oh, he's getting linked to Liverpool, United, City, and so on. So again, I do think it is a little bit mixed. If you were to ask me, do I think Liverpool need him? No. Do I think Liverpool would be better off with him? Possibly, in terms of squad depth and so on. But is it an essential signing what Liverpool need? No, of course not. I think obviously midfield is a main one as well. And I can see a couple of people saying, can I get closer? I'm going to quickly have a look if I can get closer. I don't think I can. Can I get closer? Will it let me get closer? Let me see. Oh, bloody hell. There we go. Let me see if that actually works, chat. Does that work? Yeah, it does. There we go. There we go, guys. There you go. You can now see that as well. But you can see over there, yeah, top. Let me take this off. But I don't want straightness for the World Cup. Go away. I don't know why that advert's come up again, but yeah, as you can see, but in the top 99% for non-penalty goals, non-penalty XG as well. To quickly scroll down as well, you can see, but again, like I was saying, the pass accuracy not the best, but again, you look at the dribbles, the touches in attacking positions as well. Top 96% of players, top 94 in terms of aggressive passes as well. So you look at that player that and again, Gakpo can play as a striker, he can play as a left winger, and even a left mid as well. So if Liverpool was to transition from of course a 4-2-3-1 to go 4-3-3, or even a 4-4-2 as well, Gakpo would be pretty much that type of player anyway. But again, interceptions pretty much up there. Tackles not the best. He's in the low 14% of players. But again, interceptions, making nearly one interception per game. Of course, at the top 83%. I think aerial duels one as well. Top 89%, which actually is pretty good for a attacker as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts as well, because apparently the rumors are suggesting that it will be a £43 million price tag as well for Gakpo. So again, is it something that Liverpool needs? I lean towards no. In my personal opinion, but again, I think plenty of people will. I've seen your guys' comments now. I think a couple of people will want him for sure at the club, but again, I do think he will be a United player. That's what I would say anyway, personally. But let me quickly go back up. Trent has nothing else to do. He may as well tap up Jude as well. Sure, why not? In it, bloody do it. Yeah, he keeps his seat warm as well. Absolutely. Probably he leaves his boots at the hotel. Yeah, the odd game on Sunday League football as well. Now he's playing Football Manager, isn't he, Trent? At the minute, but I thought Gakpo to United was done. I think it is pretty much done. I think Ten Hag is a huge fan, but at the minute, United don't want to pay. I think the 43 million that I think PSV have said they want for him in January. So again, don't know, do we? I think he will go for a bit less than that, but again, I think United are just trying to save the pennies. But I do think he will end up at United, because I think Ten Hag, he wanted him at Ajax, didn't he, last year, and couldn't get him. So again, who knows? But any news on Diaz apart from him going with the team? No, not really. I think the only thing was that he's now cleared. I think he's 100% fit. I think Colombian telly was saying that he was with the Colombian national side. They did a medical check on him, and he was good. He was okay. And I think he went back to Liverpool to finish up the rehab, and that was about 2 weeks ago. So again, you'd think that he is done and dusted, and will be, as Marcus said, pretty much going with the team to Dubai. Hopefully, is that in 2 weeks, guys? I think it is, isn't it? I think that the Liverpool play on the 12th of December. I think in Dubai. So again, will be interesting. But can I get any closer? I think I did that already. But Albert's in as well. Albert, thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. As well, I think in your own shirt as well. So thank you for tuning in, my friends. In Kudus, I will thrive at LFC as well. I will get Kudus's stats up here as well, guys. If if the straighteners advert will go away. I think we did get Kudus's stats up here the other day as well. I should say as well, for Cody Gakpo, he does so far this season in the Eredivisie. He's played 14, scored 9 goals, and got 12 assists. And then in the Europa League, he's played 5 games, got 3 goals and 3 assists as well. So pretty good return this season as well. So look, at the end of the day, you are buying a player that is pretty much up there in terms of bagging the goals at the minute as well. And of course, I think he's on. Is it 2 or 3 World Cup goals? Chat. Let me know your thoughts. Or practically just let me know how many goals he scored anyway. But Gary saying sign him ASAP as well. I don't know about that, to be fair, but sign as well. Says Mark, that's kind of tiny as well. Says Brian, thank you, Brian, for that. But take him all day, but not at the expense of the other areas as well. Absolutely, as well. Yeah, thanks as well. Defensive cover is low as well. Says Mark. Yeah, I think again that's the thing, is it? I think press wise he's good, but then coming back he is a bit poor. At that as well. Agent Hender wink as well, says Carrie. How can United argue over 43 when they give Ajax 100 million for Anthony? Weak bargaining position. Again, that's the case, isn't it? And I think again, United are currently suffering from that, where they were like, okay, Sam, we'll just go and spend 100 million. It's the fact that they messed Ajax around, and Ajax were like, okay, we're not going to take this. We're going to want 100 million from you, and they ended up paying 100 million, which again is out staggering number. Has he even made an appearance for the Brazilian national side in the World? Is he even at the World Cup? I don't even know if he's at the World Cup. I haven't seen him anyway. Yeah, it'd be interesting if he is at the World Cup. I haven't even seen him playing for Brazil. Anyway, but 11 is the first game as well, is it really? Are we playing? Yeah, we're playing Milan first, aren't we, chat? As well, but 11th is the first game as well. Thank you, Mark. And Kudus doesn't want to play up front as well. I think the thing is, Kudus can play everywhere, can't he? He can play striker, right wing, cam. Very versatile player, a player that Roberto Firmino replacement potentially in that regard. Kudus will be perfect with Elliott plays as well, says Albert as well. How can a team that wants to win the Champions League have Elliott as a starter? Which of the elite teams starting 11 would Elliott walk into? I don't think he walks in I don't think he's one of these players that you can just go, yeah, show him in any team, Albert. But I do think that he is, I do think he is good, but I think people have to remember he is 19. And that's the thing. I think people do have to remember that he is still 19 years of age and still has plenty of improvement. Imagine, Harvey Elliott when he's in that, 23, 24 around area. Same with Fabio Carvalho, for example. We've relied too much on them in particular, I think, anyway. But again, it will be interesting to know your guys' thoughts on that as well. But again, I do think it is an interesting conversation, I think. But Tom's in as well, saying even Cornet just nipped in for a look at the hair straighteners. So for God's sake, Tom, thank you very much for popping in. Looking for a Christmas present for the wife. Good to see you, mate. I can't wait until the real I think that's football starts again at the effing Reds as well. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant to see you and your Tom as well. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, if you want, hang on a minute. Actually, to be fair, I've got to get rid of that advert. Again, for some reason, does anyone want some Hot Wheels for Christmas? Because that's what they're advertising right now. To be fair, I don't want to get copyrighted or banned for that anyway. But yeah, if we're going to talk about then, of course, Mohamed Kudus. Now then, if we take a quick look at his stats in particular over the last 12 months anyway. Let me quickly scroll that back up. Anyway, and this is linked with forwards as well. But as you can see, but there, again in the top 90s in terms of non-penalty goals, and then of course non-penalty XGs as well. But if you look at the the passing areas for an attacker, in pretty much the high 90s for everything. Look, top 99% in pass attempted. Pass accuracy, 87.5%, which is pretty good for a forward. Top 97% for progressive passes, making over nearly three progressive passes per 90. Over nearly 4.5 dribbles, per game. Touches in an opposite position as well, 7, and then of course then progressive passes as well. So you look at it, pretty much in the top high percent in terms of dribbling, in terms of passing and so on. But then even in the defensive rate as well, tackles and interceptions. Don't get me wrong, it's not the best, but again, it's in that area where if he was to play in that false nine position, if he was to play in that attacking mid position, would that particularly be good for Liverpool? I think yes, but again, it's that problem of, is he the player that Liverpool need right now? Maybe in the summer, and I think if the option is there, then potentially, of course. But again, I do think that Liverpool just need to go all in for midfielders, and let me know your guys' thoughts as well, because I think that's the big thing. It would be nice if we could go after Gakpo, if we could go after Kudus as well. But for me, I think the main guy is in, practically, and we haven't mentioned him yet. To be fair, I forgot to get the slide up for him as well, so I'll use the thumbnail. But that guy in the middle, of course, Moisés Caicedo, as well, I think is the massive key for Liverpool in January. Which, of course, for me, I think he should be, Liverpool's number one target for now, and then of course the Jude Bellingham stuff will come later on anyway. But of course, Florian Plettenberg as well mentioning, I think yesterday it was, saying that Manchester United are planning to enter the race. Boss is highly interested, also on the list for Liverpool, next to Bellingham and spotted by many other top clubs. Teammates say he is an exceptional player and character. Brighton hopes that he will stay beyond 2023. Now, according to not Colombians, I apologize for that, Ecuadorian reporters as well, they do suggest that Liverpool are planning to talk to Brighton due to Ecuador's early exit from the World Cup. Of course, that happened yesterday. Of course, they just only just missed out on qualifying for the knockouts for the World Cup. And again, it's that fact of now there's that little bit of a break, so you hope Liverpool can maybe negotiate something, because like we've all said, Liverpool need something now. We need to be able to, go on, from the 1st of January, get that player in the door, and then we can, rebuild then and start that, process of getting the top four, going hopefully. But again, this is the problem where we just need, in particular, we don't need to, a drag out. We don't need a complete January of, are we going to sign this player? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? That is what we don't need. We need practically a player that we've got an eye on, which of course is Moisés Caicedo. For me, I think he's an absolute guaranteed. I think obviously I compared him to Gini Wijnaldum, that workhorse midfielder that you need in a team. But again, plenty of other people, I think, pretty much are very much excited about the potential of him signing for the club as well. I think that's the interesting thing as well, where Liverpool, obviously it's going to cost a lot. It might cost, 35, 40 million, maybe even 50 million to some extent. But you're going to get a quality Prem proven player, and practically someone that Liverpool should have gone for, ages ago. And that's the brutal honesty of it. I think, and I think obviously Liverpool will definitely be trying, hopefully, everything. But again, I say this, it might be, it might be at the end of January and Liverpool don't sign anyone, and then you're like, what's happened here then? But again, I do think that he is definitely someone that Liverpool should definitely be going after in the January window as well. And let me know your guys' thoughts as well on how much do you think Moisés Caicedo would cost Liverpool, because I think that's the other interesting thing of how much do you think he'll cost Liverpool. That will be the big one as well. But Leon on the 11th and Milan on the 16th as well. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Mark, for that. Hi, Tom, as well. Don't get me wrong. I love Elliot, but he's a work in progress. Exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it, Albert? He is a work in progress. Same with Harvey Elliott. Well, obviously Harvey Elliott. Fabio Carvalho as well. And again, I think we've relied a little bit too much on the youngsters. We shouldn't be, Harvey Elliott's exciting to, put in there, and Fabio Carvalho as well to gain experience. But, there's no way that they should be starting, for example, a Merseyside derby at Goodison. They shouldn't be starting that realistically. And it is pretty much a letdown from the rest of the squad that they've had to do that anyway. But I think Caicedo in for Fabinho, Kudus in for anywhere they want to fit him, Gakpo in to partner Mo and Darwin. We have Real Madrid for lunch over 2 legs as well. Luis Diaz for me, mate. You put Luis Diaz in there for sure. But yeah, I absolutely get where you're coming from, Bave. Doak, if he keeps in form, will come up soon. Yeah, absolutely. I think Ben Doak's going to be phenomenal, isn't he? Which game did he play? Was it the not Derby? Yeah, it was a Derby game, right? That he come on and played. Looked brilliant in that. And of course, we've seen bits and pieces of him in the under 18 games as well. But we have an advantage over Man United on any player because we are playing Champions League as well. Yeah, that's a huge thing. if we are willing to match the asking price, we need a now player. I mean, United don't need him now. You'd be surprised, Albert, what United will do. But then, in saying that, look at the Gakpo situation. They don't want to pay 40 odd million quid for him. When at the minute, his stocks are just going to go higher and higher if he continues, the form he's currently producing, isn't he? Caicedo is number one. Fabinho is done, says Albert. I think, if I'm being honest, I think Caicedo is for the left-hand side. I don't think he'll be for a DM, personally. Anyway, I do think he will be in the middle of the park. Not in the middle of the park, sorry, on the left of the three. If that was to happen, anyway. But again, it could swing the roundabouts, couldn't it? Really. Not particularly sure. They reckon the sale of the club will be next year. Yeah, I think it'll be towards the summer, the back end of the summer, before anything is done with the club, to be awfully honest with you. And again, I think there's stuff that we don't know about, and we'll soon find out. But I do think there is someone there at the minute that's trying to bid. I think the big problem for Liverpool is at the minute is what's the price tag. That's the simple thing. What is the price tag for Liverpool at the moment? Anyway, but Gavi would be one for me as well, says Mark. Bloody hell, Gavi. Yeah, Mark, he would be a good one, but not for 200 million, I think, or that's his buyout clause, which is $1 billion, which is ridiculous. But again, no, I absolutely understand and get where you're coming from. Gavi is phenomenal player. 50 million for Caicedo is nothing. If we don't get him, it will be 100 million in the summer. Cucurella cost 55 million as well. True, that is very, very true. But again, I do think that I don't think it'd be as much as 100, because I do think that he does have a clause in his contract in the summer. I think, if I was reading that correctly. But again, I get what you mean. Again, Brighton will hold, unless negotiations are done pretty well. Brighton will just go, look, we just want 60 million, for example. I think, anyway, and just hold everyone ransom for it as well. But how many times do we hijack United deals? All the time, Mark. It's absolutely brilliant. Was it Fabinho, Thiago? I can count more if we wanted to. Rob is in as well. Hello, Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Saying hello, you handsome devil. Hello to you, Rob, as well. And then Mark saying, yeah, of course, as well. Hello, as well. Hello, Mark, mate, as well. Mark saying, I hope you are talking about me there, says Mark as well. You handsome devil, as well. But no, I think it was interesting, though, guys, isn't it? The fact that there's been nothing, look, tonight's video, we wanted to talk really about Gakpo and Kudus and Caicedo as well. Of course, the news coming out as well about potentially new sporting director as well. But realistically, there's been nothing, has there, over the last 2 weeks or so? It's, of course, everyone's focusing on the World Cup, but I did think there'd be more news concerning a signing or something happening. Of course, we've had news. Don't get me wrong. We've had the club being put into sale and obviously the whole behind the scenes stuff. But I did think we'd have a bit more on the field stuff to maybe bring you guys as well. But again, I'm enjoying the time off a little bit, to be fair, because again, it's going to be manic after the World Cup as well. But we hijacked Darwin too as well. I don't really think we hijacked Darwin, to be fair, because United never really put up a fight, did they? They were like, what wasn't it? It was like the news come out saying that United don't want a bidding war with Liverpool. Liverpool then go and spend 67 million on Darwin, and United fans were like, oh, well, why didn't we put up more of a fight? I don't think they did fight for Darwin. I don't think they wanted him. I think they thought that Ronaldo would have stayed an extra year. But obviously, we know what's happened since. Obviously, his loved up affair with Piers Morgan, and again, Piers Morgan's an absolute rat. But I won't talk too much about that. But again, I do think that United didn't really fight for Darwin, I would say anyway. But that's my opinion. But more than I feel we would hear in the break as well. Yeah, absolutely. It's more and not more. It's a weird concept, isn't it, guys? But yeah, I do get what all you guys mean as well. De Jong will fit our system perfectly as well. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, Albert, Albert, if you know, I can't say this guy's name properly. Bertetic, again, I apologize if I butchered his name. He's great too. He is so assured and confident in the half back as well. Yeah, he is very, very good. Again, I think he's one for the future, isn't he? Along with the rest of them. Piers Morgan shout. No, we're not talking about Piers Morgan. Again, he has a man crush over Cristiano Ronaldo. Was it yesterday when Ronaldo, or the day before when Ronaldo scored, and Piers Morgan was like, "Oh, I've texted Ronaldo going, oh, did you score, mate?" And it's just so cringe, and horrible as well. I hate Piers Morgan. De Jong doesn't want to come to Liverpool. Let's forget him as well. He wants to stay at Barca, doesn't he? Really, I don't think he wants to go anywhere. Supposedly, he's meant to be taking a pay cut after the World Cup, so Barcelona can sign players. Apparently, him and Ter Stegen are still on mad wages, and they're apparently negotiating on whether or not they can get those wages down. And so, realistically, Barcelona are in an absolute mess. And it's absolutely it's lovely to see. It's absolutely lovely to see. Anyway, but either way, look, at the end of the day, Liverpool, hopefully we can get our act together and get, top four. And then, look, we can just batter everyone next season once we've rebuilt the squad, and so on, and rebuilt the midfield anyway. But before we do head off then, of course, we're going to recap on what's happened today. Anyway, of course, we're going to talk about this man, of course, Sven Mislintat. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Again, I apologize if I have absolutely butchered it. Of course, being linked with the vacant sporting director role that will be in the summer, of course, due to Julian Ward leaving Liverpool. Of course, Florian Plintenberg as well mentioning he is a candidate in order to replace Ward as sporting director. No concrete negotiations as of yet, so do take that in mind as well. But he is open to join Liverpool, and of course does have a brilliant relationship with Jurgen Klopp after working together from 2008 to 2015 as well. So practically the entire period that Jurgen Klopp was at Borussia Dortmund as well. We've also spoken about these two as well, of course, Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Kudus as well. We've mentioned the fact that Liverpool have been scouting both of them, and that is according to Fabrizio Romano as well, which of course you guys know that is one of the top transfer journalists. Of course, Liverpool then have entered the race for to try and sign Mohamed Kudus. Well, that was reported yesterday by Dutch television, by Dutch television as well, because it was talked about. Of course, Kudus currently plays for Ajax, so it was mentioned in that as well. And of course, we've also mentioned Caicedo as well, and the news there, the United are planning to enter the race because people at United are very high on him, but he is on the list for Liverpool alongside Jude Bellingham as well, which again, a lot of clubs are looking at him at the minute, so Liverpool do have to get their noses in the door as well. But apparently he is on the top list for Liverpool as well. But apart from that, there's been no other news as well, apart from, of course, the World Cup stuff, which we will be doing World Cup stuff tomorrow, guys. I did say if there wasn't anything Liverpool-ish, then we would be bringing World Cup stuff. So again, if you guys will be interested in that, it'll be live tomorrow, again at 9 o'clock anyway. So if you guys are interested in that, very much appreciated as well. Anyway, but let me quickly read through the last comments. Anyway, Gakpo has tweeted he doesn't either as well. That's about. He won't go anywhere until he gets his 15 million. They owe him as well. No, absolutely. That is true, Albert, as well. It is shocking. Like, apparently they owe PK like 40 million euros, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's try and get Brighton's recruitment team, they don't miss. No, they don't. To be fair, they are very, very good in that department and sell very highly as well, which of course is the Liverpool way as well at the minute. But and get so much interest as well. Absolutely. I spoke to a trusted Ghanaian as well, says Albert. Any clubs linked to Ward? No, Julian Ward's not going to another club. Supposedly he wants more family time as of things now. Of course, the rumours yesterday was the fact that both Julian Ward and Michael Edwards are both going to go to United, and that deal's already done. But then another newspaper reported that both of them are going to Chelsea and that. So again, I don't think any of them are going anywhere. I think, look, Julian Ward, he's been around Liverpool for the last 10 years. It is a shame, the fact that he is going to be going away. But again, it is that factor of, by the looks of things, he just wants a bit of downtime. Then I think realistically as well. But I spoke to a trusted Ghanaian journalist, close to Kudus. He confirms the interest from Liverpool as well, says Albert. So there we go, guys, as well. But big up to all of you guys as well. Thank you very much for tuning in to tonight's show. Anyway, I do very much appreciate each and every single one of you. Again, tomorrow we are going to be talking about World Cup. We're going to be looking at the teams that have qualified as well tomorrow at 9 o'clock, of course, and we'll be talking about all the fixtures as well. The group stage and everything about the World Cup anyway. So hopefully I will see you all tomorrow for that anyway. If there is any other breaking news concerning Liverpool, of course I will bring that to you straight away. So if you guys make sure you got your notification bell on. If there's anyone new in here as well, then please hit that like button and please hit that subscribe button. I think we're still on 788, so if we can get to 790, that'd be very much appreciated. I think I may have said 778 then. 788, I think we're on. So if we can get to 790 or whatever we're on, please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, but very much appreciate it, guys. Thank you. If you have enjoyed, like I did say, I do massively appreciate all of you guys tuning in, because it is just me talking, rabbling on. But again, I love speaking about Liverpool, speaking to you guys as well. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow for the World Cup stream. Anyway, but until then, guys, I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I will see you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.